John, are sitcoms dead? Are those a thing of the past?
The traditional sitcom has changed radically over the last few years. A few years ago, it was thought that the sitcom form had basically died and reality programming had taken over. Then they found it hadn't died, it just took on a little bit different form. Now, to understand sitcom is probably the most underestimated of all story forms. It's actually quite complicated. You have to tell a complete story, and it has to be funny in approximately 22 minutes. The requirement of the writer to understand their form, their structure, is incredible there. And it is one of the most dense of all story forms. We don't think of it that way because we're laughing, right? This is a comedy, and it's often, they're very stupid kind of characters. So we think, well, we don't have great respect for this form. At least a lot of people don't. But in fact, it is a very challenging form. Now, the sitcom form, just like TV drama, has a number of genres that make it up. Now, the traditional sitcom is the family sitcom. And that goes all the way back to the 50s with, Father Knows Best and Donna Reed and so on. And you had that classic nuclear family. And what the sitcom then showed us was family comedy. And it was something that everybody in the audience could relate to. And a lot of times they would watch it as a family. Now, over the years, we've then broken into different kinds of sitcoms. And again, like TV drama, each of them steps out in a very different way. There are different story beats for each of these different kinds of sitcoms. So now, besides the family sitcom, we have the single sitcom, we have the anti-sitcom, we have the serious sitcom. A show like Girls would be an example of that. So what's happening then is the form is diversified, and that puts a greater challenge on the writer, because you have to be clear what kind of sitcom are you writing, how does it step out, and does this particular show change the sitcom? For example, Girls takes the basic sitcom form and turns it on its head. Every single beat of the sitcom is done in essentially the opposite way that it is normally done. And so this gives us tremendous benefits, because this is a, quote, sitcom that nobody's ever seen before. So right away it's got a freshness to it. But the way the traditional sitcom worked was done for a reason. It allowed us to watch this family for 5+ seasons. And again, we're talking 24 episodes on network, 24 per year. Again, a tremendous amount of output. So why do we have those beats in the traditional sitcom? Because that's how you create comedy plot over 5+ years. Now, so when you flip those beats, as they do on a show like Girls, it gives you some benefits, but you have tremendous costs, which means it makes it much more difficult to create plot over an entire season and over multiple seasons. This is the single biggest problem I see that Girls has, is it has a great deal of difficulty creating standard comedy plot.